Like, share, subscribe, hit the super chat on the way in. What's going on, y'all? What's going on? What's going on? Oh boy. Shout out to Hammer. Shout out to the women in the chat. Shout out to the other brother that came up earlier. Shout out to the Roger Report and everyone that contributed to his panel discussion today. Oh man, Z, where were you? Z was running errands. I saw the thumbnail and I was like, I'm gonna get to it. I'm gonna get to it. And Z never got to it. That's what happened. It's that simple, y'all. I had plans on getting to it, but Z had to run some errands, and life is lifing. Um, and yeah, y'all. Um, okay. Let's let's give our commentary. Like, share, subscribe, hit the super chat. Whew, how did Z not get into this? This was a great discussion. Z, you missed a great opportunity to kind of flesh some of these things out. First, I want to shout out Compassionate, Black Uru, BGS, just the entire panel. Obviously the Roger Report, AL Evans, Kev C, everyone that was there, Truth Teller, um, everyone that was there. But I think low key Compassionate is low key borderline genius out here. I'm just letting y'all know. Compassionate, don't be sleep on Compassionate and Callous, right? Um, but I agree with the sentiment that too many, and it's funny because Ole just put out a think piece about being non-ADOS FBA and kind of some of the what she sees as maybe a slightly growing xenophobia to non-ADOS FBA folks. I will say this as a non-ADOS FBA person, and this is me. I'm going to address this first. I'm going to speak about Hammer first. Then I'm going to get to the main topic of Roger's discussion about black women who marry non-black men and whether they're part of the community or not. So let's address Hammer first and the other brothers that seem to be having a difficult time um given their commentary. Um Understand something. Mr. Z is not ADOS FBA. I came in the door letting everyone know Mr. Z's background and I am welcomed in this space. It's that simple. It's that simple. Mr. Z is welcome in this space. Like no one throws it in Mr. Z's face. I'm able to give my commentary about black folks, ADOS folks, non-ADOS black folks, and I don't have a problem. No one in this space is necessarily antagonistic to Z. At least from my understanding, I never hear people, well Z not ADOS, so what does he know? Right? So I'm saying that because I want to stress to Hammer that you can give your commentary and your take, and people will receive it in this space. But what are you saying? What is your take, and how informed or ill-informed is it, or uninformed is it? Right? Mr. Z was born and raised in America, born and raised in South Florida, Dade County to be exact. And I don't have any issues speaking about primary. Mr. Z's girlfriend is ADOS on mom and dad's side, right? Number one. Number two, I have made it abundantly clear where my angle is coming from. I'm my commentary is what it is right now because I want to emphasize and stress that you can speak in this space and people will not just arbitrarily just throw away your opinion or your take or your view because you're non-ADOS. What are you saying? And how informed are you on the subject matter? Right? This is very important take. Number one. Number two, ADOS folks, FBA folks have a very unique experience with white folks. And I think non-ADOS, non-FBA folks don't fully appreciate that. I'm talking about black non-ADOS FBA folks, black people from across the diaspora, don't fully appreciate that because colonialism was just a handful of white folks occupying your territory, right? Yes, was there beatings? Was there extrajudicial killings? Was there even in certain places enslavement? Yes, but it wasn't what it was in and quite frankly, if you're not even in the West, if that's a whole different conversation. If you're from the continent, you had a different experience than what was going on in the West, but particularly America. When I say America, I'm saying the US. And I think what ends up happening is these people are able to give this type of commentary and not really appreciate that your take that's coming from a view of colonialism doesn't really appreciate, as Compassionate said, there's a there is a hair trigger thing with ADOS FBA because they understand the white folks, particularly in America, in a way that if you weren't born and raised here, but even if you don't have the lineage, you don't really appreciate. You just don't. Huh? It's that simple. And so you have a view of black men and black women's relationship that's misinformed at best, ill-informed in the medium, and fully uninformed. Maybe actually being uninformed might actually be better. Mr. Z might have actually said this the wrong way. Uninformed at best, ill-informed somewhere in the middle, and misinformed at the worst. Right? Destro says the nappy heads, and all I thought about was the song "All My Life I've Been Broke." Guess what's going in the description box, y'all? Especially when they say, and y'all wonder why we act this way, right? Shout out to Destro. That's actually if you're referencing the song, I think you're referencing. Shout out to the South, right? So to Destro and to the brothers that were in the comments and the couple of brothers that jumped on the panel that's not ADOS and FBA, please don't think that ADOS FBA folks, black men in particular, just dismiss you and dismiss your opinion because you're not ADOS FBA. What are you saying is the question, right? So yeah. So number one. Number two, let's address the women in the comments. Oh boy, shout out to the Roger Report. Of course, the women had an issue because they want their cake and they want to be able to eat it too. In other words, they want to be able to hopscotch. They really want to be upper middle class white women. The goal is to potentially marry the well-off white man that takes you out of Blackistan. But you still want to be able to have to cheat on your white man with the black dude in the file room. The dread brother with the tattoos from the neck down that just so happen to be working at your firm or the firm that you work for. You want to be able to cheat on your white husband with the brother, just like the white women do. Oops. Huh? And if you and the white dude don't work out, you want to be able to find refuge with some black man worth a damn. Just like some of the white women do. Goddamn Z. So of course the black women in Roger's comment section or his live chat had an issue with what he was presenting. Of course they did. Huh? And of course, one of the examples was, look at all the black men in the NFL. The black men in the NFL. You mean how many NFL players are there? What, 1,500, 2,000, something like that? If even. How many NFL players are there? So what I've said this years ago on the breakdown on women's perspective. Y'all look at these celebrities. Y'all are so black women are so y'all y'all got to get over the anger and the resentment at not being politically and socially white women. Dear black women, they're so hyper focused on celebrity and desirability and being seen because the white women aren't told to settle, right? Of course, she brought up the NFL. The NFL players. You mean the NFL where the majority of the brothers still end up with a black woman? Oops. Huh? Or do you mean the NFL where that white woman got on his program early and let him know, excuse me, that white woman let him know early that she was on his program? That's why you see on the draft, that's why you see in the NBA draft and the NFL draft, what do you see? White girl all be hugged up on the black boyfriend, fiance, or already husband every once in a blue. She letting you know, oh yeah, I'm here and I'm staying here, at least for a good 10, 15 years. Huh? She gambled. She gambled early. She didn't wait until it was 3-2 and then wait, don't let the plane leave without me. Nope. Too late. So for all the sisters that say, "Oh, I'm not doing struggle love," the white girl said, "Yeah, I'll heat up the ravioli when we struggling in college. I'll do it. I'll help you study. I'll do the test for you. Oops. I'll help you study when we're in college." Huh? What happened? Huh? I'll heat up the Roman noodles. I'll do it. I'll let you drive my car. I'll do it. And now an increasing amount of Latinas are saying it too. Uh-oh. Thank you, Saint Cyr. They buying the football player Chipotle after practice, Z. Thank you. So while your mothers raise you to be antagonistic towards black men, unless he already got the bag, unless the literally his wallet is bulging out of his pocket. So while mainly single black mothers, if we're gonna call a thing, but sometimes simp ass daddies too, all you daughter daddies, they raise y'all that until when you're finally finished with school and that man is he's already arrived at the finish line, then you go ahead and gamble. It's not a gamble no more with him. I'm not doing struggle love, Z. Fine then, be single. Watch the white woman walk away with the man you should have been with then. Watch the Latina walk away with the man you should have been with then. Maybe even an Asian or two. Uh-oh. You know about the damn Chef Boyardee ravioli, Mr. Shook to you. Put a little bit of cheese in it, put it in a bowl, put it in the microwave. That's what makes it bearable. So to Roger, I say, yeah, the women were in the comments acting a goddamn fool because they don't want to hear that. Wait, so we don't have no soft place to land? Not if you're not on a black man's program. Huh? Not if you're on a black if you're not on a black man's program, you're not black no more. God damn, Z. I said it. Says who, Z? Black men said it. Ooh, god damn. What about my mixed kids? Welp. Shrugs. Uh-oh. Ooh. If I'll say this, I don't know about Raj. Now this is a black thing. This is not a ADOS thing, because Mr. Z ain't ADOS. If your black kids come to the black community and claim black, then we can have a conversation. But you belong to a white man now, or a Latino man, or an Asian man. Whoever you went over there, that's where you at. You can't take away my blackness, Z. Watch me. Huh? Why is it not the same for black men, Z? Because we said so. Uh-oh. Huh? Because we said so, that's why. It's a double standard, Z. See, other people are gonna say no, it's not a double. Mr. Z said, and oh god damn, Z. Shout out to the Raj report. You're not paying for me, nor do you want to, nor will you be working towards it. Now we already know for the most part, men, especially 40% of women, earn more than their male counterparts. So we know across the board in America, men ain't outright paying all the way for women, but we're still paying a disproportionate amount, even black men. Yes, you heard right, black women. Huh? Even black men are paying a disproportionate amount, particularly black men, if we're going to be honest. Black men still earn more than black women. Check the statistics. Huh? Black men have more wealth than black women by nearly 3 times. All those college degrees. Uh-oh. Huh? Let's be very clear. If you're not paying, shout out to the Rogers Report for this. If you're not paying or planning to pay for a black man, then why does your opinion matter? God damn, Z. Ooh. Like I said, black men define the black community. Huh? It's just like that. That's just the way it is. So yeah, the black women were in the comments acting a fool on Rogers' channel. Of course they were. They don't want to hear that. They definitely wait a minute. You trying to tell me that I'm not black no more, or I lose my black card because I'm with a white man? I'm still black. I still suffer from black experiences. I'm still discriminated against. Well, have your white man fix that then. Uh-oh. How can you be so callous, Z? Because black women started talking and started telling us what they really think about black men. They started telling us why they really over there with white men. Uh-oh. It's love. That's not what y'all been saying for the past decade and some change. Once the internet and social media started popping up, that's not what y'all been saying. Y'all should have been told Chrissy to shut the hell up. Y'all should have been told Kristen and Karazin to shut the hell up. Divested Zealot to shut the hell up. Y'all should have been told Lexus Exodus to shut the hell up. Cynthia G to shut the hell up. Y'all should have been told them that. Y'all didn't say anything. Y'all secretly, not so secretly, applauded them. So now we decided you're not black no more once you go over there. Go let the white man and the Latino man and the Asian man pogo stick down your esophagus and stay over there for life. If you can't tell these divestors, at least the card carrying loud ones, because many of you are there, you just know better than to say it out loud. If you can't tell them to shut the hell up and maybe make them, ooh, we're not advocating for violence here. I'm just saying. Then we will just assume that all of y'all think like that. Huh? That's a good question. Vince says, where's the female habitual line steppers? Oh, you mean the women they call mammies? You mean the women they call pick-me's? Because they would much rather uphold the sisterhood and live the Golden Girls life than show black men that they're valued by telling other black women to shut the hell up and get on a black man's program. Huh? So yeah, there's a lot of women in the comments acting a goddamn fool. Of course they're acting a fool. Of course they're acting a fool. Because it's a black man's job to do for black women that gave him the middle finger. It's black men's job to do for black women who said, yeah, I see productive black men. Shout out to Accountable Commentary. Shout out to the Roger Report. Yeah, I see productive black men. Yes, I see elite black men. Yes, I see black men who have their head on their shoulders. But I'm going to mess with Pookie, and then when that fails, I'm going to throw a temper tantrum, and I'm going to go over there to white men because I couldn't break Pookie to my will. What about the productive black man? What productive black man? Okay, yeah, that's what I thought. And now, right, Chrissy. Oops, Chrissy, you did say you was out here with the street dudes. Then you threw a goddamn temper tantrum because you couldn't break them, and now you out here with the non-black men. You said it, huh? Shout out to Compassion. Compassion, you might want to listen to the beginning of the stream. Right. Let's be very clear. Black men, this is a hostile takeover. Dear ladies, and by the way, you don't have to be a single baby mother to be over there in that single baby mother community. If you're not with a black man, and if you're not under the leadership of a black man, then you over there. Period. So all of you women that's throwing the temper tantrum, the white guy ain't checking for you, and the brothers told you to get your act right and you refuse to, so you ain't gonna get married and have children, you over there. All you quote unquote rich aunties, I seen the number, y'all not rich aunties, I seen the numbers. Y'all over there. All you single baby mothers who refuse to marry your husbands, you over there. All you women that didn't make it at least 10 years of marriage, you over there. Uh-oh. Huh? Yeah, that's the new rule. Imagine black women telling you, showing you through action that if they can end up with any white man will do, any white man, God forbid, a white man that actually got a couple of dollars and a head on his shoulder, that they going. And then for those same women to throw a fit because black men said, yeah, you could do that. You can go over there, but once you go over there, ain't no coming back. And black women clutch their invisible pearls. Man, if you don't get the entire hell out of here, lady, right? And once again, we're reviewing and like, share, subscribe, hit the super chat. We're reviewing the Roger Report's channel and his video today. Excuse me, his panel today, and it was called "Members of the Black Community Do Not Have White Husbands." Uh-oh. Huh? Exactly, Dre. Hashtag no reach back. Shout out to accountable commentary. No reach back. And the question for black women, here's a really good question, dear ladies. Why should black men? It's not fair we do it. You're supposed to. Wait, y'all don't think Mr. Z upholds double standards? Because he's gonna pay for you anyway, goddamn Z. Shout out to Russell Wilson. Uh-oh. Somebody tells Z he lying. Y'all forgot the dude you celebrated was with a white woman before and then ended up with Sierra? Huh? No reachbacks. Why? Because we said so. Huh? See, and this is Duck telling exactly what you said. Dre says, Z, you missed out. That Ninja Fam hammer, that Ninja Hammer was walling. Yeah, I saw it. I listened. Right. And I man, I missed the opportunity to have a non-AOS conversation with him right there in the middle of Roger's channel because it was definitely needed. Um, but going to that, see, black women like to pretend like American history isn't American history concerning white men. They like to pretend like Loving versus Virginia wasn't a thing and that was a black woman. Because what they thought was supposed to happen was it was supposed to be a bum rush of white men marrying black women all over the place. And that way black women could live out their white women fantasies. And actually, when you quote unquote freed yourself from black men, you actually freed black men from having to end up with a black woman. Yeah, that wasn't supposed to happen. Alexa, play Steve Urkel saying, "Did I do that, please?" Huh? That math wasn't supposed to math that way, huh, ladies? Whoopsie. Huh? That's why Paris Milan was out here saying it should be black women that get reparations, not black men. Y'all marrying white women, that's the reparations. For those of you that don't know, yes, Paris Milan did say it. Yes, she did. Mr. Z is not making that up. Those were her words. I covered it last year. Why would Paris Milan say that? Because she's not dumb. She's an airhead, but she ain't dumb. She a little snarky yitch, but she ain't dumb. She know the second real reparations money come about, there's gonna be black men and black women that get together. There's gonna be a whole lot of black women on the other side of 5 years and 10 years who got nothing but a couple of mixed white kids and all their money gone. Goddamn Z. A couple of mixed Latino kids and all their money gone. Goddamn Z. A couple of mixed Asian kids and all their money gone. Somebody tells Z he lying. And there's gonna be a whole lot of black men who really did go passport bros. Well, damn. Huh? Who really did go SYSBM? Goddamn. Huh? Uh oh. And they'll be out here producing the next what's his name Ball with his three sons in the NBA. Well, damn. Yep. Huh? She ain't dumb. Going to what Dre was saying also about Hammer. If you do not know American history, if you do not know about black women secretly lusting after white men, not really. It's not really about his white skin. It's not about his blue or green eyes, the brunette hair, whatever the hell. It has nothing to do with that. It's the status and the position he holds. This is why all women of color, LeVar Ball, thank you, Saint Cyr, thank you, Chief Rocker, thank you. Right? This is about the stat. I've said this before. This ties into this conversation. All the left did by defanging working class men, working poor men, lower middle class men, they didn't defang the men and then the women were like, okay, I guess this is what we have to settle for. All they did was the men that were at the top, now the women are scrambling to end up with that guy. It's all about that guy now. It's something that Dr. Richard Reeves said. And Dr. Richard Reeves is a bit of a leftist. So he said he was speaking about how in Dream Hoarders in time Dream Hoarders he was speaking about this, which is that because of like the growing chasm between the upper middle class or that professional managerial class, which is not necessarily synonymous, but the growing chasm in the top 20% and everyone else. The people in the top 20% are so dogged now about making sure their children don't fall, right? It's even more because the growing chasm means that if your children fall from the top 20 to the bottom 80, you really fear for them in their future. Of course, Everglades Wireless. I'm still here, y'all. I'm still here. Mr. Z's still here. We still here, right? And Saint Cyr says, "Did Z blank out? No, drop the feed. I don't know. Usually, especially where I am, that like never happens. I don't know what happened, but yeah, Z is still here. Z is still here, right? So, going to what I was saying, as Dr. Richard Reeve was saying in Dream Hoarders, and he said this in a couple of his lectures. So, what the top 20% is doing is they're really trying to make sure their children and grandchildren stay there. Because when you fall for them, you don't just fall just a little bit into the bottom 80. You're going to really fall. And so I don't care whether you're talented or not. I don't care if you're educated. Of course, I'm going to try to make sure, but I don't care whether you're talented or not, or educated or disciplined. We just going to rig the game to keep you in the top 20% that I'm in, and maybe even climb up a little bit. It doesn't matter whether you're deserving of it or not. Why is Mr. Z tying this to this conversation? If that's the case when it comes to class, when it comes to income, when it comes to education, when it comes to neighborhood, you have to know that this is also the case when it comes to men in partnership. When it comes to men, ew, Z, you said partner. I know. When it comes to men, when it comes to intimate relationship, quote unquote, equalizing the world for women didn't make them any more egalitarian when it comes to their want for men who earn more than them, men who are more successful than them, men who are higher up in the social political hierarchy than them. More often than economic, but really socially, men who are of higher status than them. That did not stop women from that being their primary motivation. It didn't stop that. And so if you don't really appreciate American history, I'm going all the way back and tying to what Hammer was speaking about and tying to what Dre said earlier. Like, share, subscribe, hit the super chat. If you don't appreciate that, then you don't really appreciate why ADOS FBA men and those of us from the diaspora that understand this, why we have this knee-jerk reaction to black women in specific having sex with white men, being in relationship with white men, being married to white men, and why we say when you over there for life. You ain't coming back. Huh? If you don't understand the what white male hegemony and white male patriarchy, if we're gonna call a thing, has done to the minds of women of color around planet Earth, particularly in the West, particularly in America, then I don't know if you should be having this conversation. There is a reason why the Raj Report put out that title. And if you don't understand American history and the context of American history, then you don't appreciate that, yeah, black men may have a higher interracial marriage rate than black women, but that's not because black women ain't trying. That's because white men and Latino men and Asian men said no. That's why. So black women can claim loyalty. They can claim loyalty all they want. It's not loyalty when he don't choose. There's a difference. They claim loyalty because their pride won't let them admit that the way anti-blackness bites them in the ass is that the white men won't marry them. The white men may find her attractive. The white men might pipe. The white men might even, quote unquote, date you and be seen in public with you for a little while. But marriage in any significant number, now that's a different conversation. That's how anti-blackness bites black women in the ass. And to Hammer and to all the other brothers from across the diaspora that's not ADOS FBA, if you don't appreciate that, and if you don't know that, then you don't appreciate what Roger was saying. You don't appreciate what BGS and Black Uru was saying and what AL was saying. what Compassionate was saying, what Kev C was saying, what Truth Teller was saying. You don't get it. There was another brother up there. I can't remember his name, and he been up there a couple of times. Another ADOS brother. I can't remember his name. Right. If you don't appreciate it, as a matter of fact, if you're African, then you already know if we send the average looking white dude to just about any African country. Z, you said any African country. You aren't you talking about just the black ones? Nope. I said what I said. Yeah, you Arabs up there too. Oops. You send any average ass 70, $80,000 a year, 6 foot tall, not even 6 foot tall white dude to any African country. You trying to tell me he can't pipe whatever woman? They got whole pages on adult sites dedicated to white dudes traveling around piping all different African women. Tells you he lying. Oops. Huh? Tells you he lying. So if the African sisters are giving it up to the extra average white Bob off the strength he's white, if the Asian woman is giving it to any extra average white Bob off the strength he's white, uh-oh. Huh? If the indigenous looking Latina all across the Americas, everywhere in the West, is giving it to the extra average white Bob off the strength just because he's white, then why do you think that's not the case for ADOS FBA black women in America and all the other black Americanized women in America? There is a reason why the Raj Report said what he said. You don't get to have 1 foot in the black community and 1 foot in white patriarchy. Uh-oh. Nope. Huh? Why, Z? Because we said so. Because black men said so. That's why. Huh? If you don't believe me, go ask Kayla Nicole. Does she have a new man yet? Uh-oh. Huh? Vince is unfair. Who said anything about fairness? How fair is it to want a productive black man to wife you up after you gave him your ass to kiss by ending up with a white man? Huh? How unfair is it to, and we see this online, now you see them trying to double back for some of the black women. How unfair is it to make anti-black male posts 5 years ago, 6 years ago, 7 years ago? And then because you think people forgot, now you super pro-black after the white men done washed your ass. Huh? Well, I'm going to address this in a minute, Leon. Right? How unfair is that? How unfair is it for you to sit at brunch? Okay, fine. You don't say the anti-black things about black men. How unfair is it for you to sit at brunch and let other black women say anti-black things about black men? Because God forbid you go against the sisterhood and be called a pick me or a mammy, and you don't say anything. How unfair is that? So yeah, Vince, yeah, they're gonna say it's unfair. It's unfair, Z, and huh? How unfair is it for you to sit in the nail salon or the hair salon talking real crazy about black men or allowing other black women to talk real crazy about black men and then claim you love black men? Huh? Unfair. That divorce rate for the married black folks, tell me about unfair. Black women filing for divorce left, right on black men. Unfair. Huh? What's that same sex loving rate for black women? You want to talk about unfair? Black women that would rather munch on each other than get on a black man's program. You want to talk about unfair? Huh? Black women that said they would rather be the quote unquote rich auntie than get on a black man's program. Black women who told Kevin Samuels, well, we all die alone anyway. They rather do that than get on a black man's program. Black women that rather be celibate for years, maybe even a decade plus, than get on a black man's program. Black women that would rather cry themselves to sleep at night because, like, what's her name? Camille Austin said, I don't want a Negro, I want that Negro. Uh-oh. Huh? For those of you that don't recall, that was a young lady that Mr. Z covered a couple years ago. Shout out to Charles Faulkner Jr. Charles Faulkner know who I'm speaking about. Gorgeous chocolate sister, absolutely stunning. What that mean? Nothing. And unfortunately, I think she's from South Florida too. Yeah, she live in LA now, I think, but I think she's from South Florida. I'm sorry, y'all. Huh? Like, share, subscribe, hit the super chat. So if we're gonna speak about unfair, how unfair is it to still want to claim blackity black, 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 but you have a non-black husband, boyfriend, baby daddy, or some white dude that's just pogo sticking up and down your esophagus? Love is love, Z. Huh? Want to talk about unfair? And black men are supposed to do what when Chad Wheeler goes upside your head? Black men are supposed to do what when Travis Kelce show you his ass, give you his ass to kiss? Dude refuses to even mention your name. Huh? Black men are supposed to do what? Huh? Black men are supposed to do what? Black men are supposed to do what when you're found unalive in the presence of a white man after you liked a tweet speaking about, well, if you see me with a white man, just know I tried with you Negroes. Huh? What are black men supposed to do? Huh? That's the question. So if it's unfair and you see it as a double standard, but why do you see it as a double standard? Oh, you right. Black men are just supposed to be there. It's not fair, Z. Black women want to experience life and they want to experience love. And if it fails with a white man, that doesn't mean that she doesn't like black men. Is Z gone? No, Z's still here, straight face. Black men said you're either on our program or you're not. That's what black men said. Now it's starting with the black manosphere, but it'll spread out. Isn't that your biggest fear? Isn't that why y'all want to take our mics away? Huh? So continuing, that conversation on Roger Report's channel was needed. It was needed. I don't think Hammer fully appreciates why ADOS FBA are speaking the way they are. Why ADOS FBA black men are speaking the way they are. Why it's important that we give and we have a delineating line between ADOS FBA and those like Z who are not. And even for those like Z who are allies and those who are not. Huh? And Dre says, Z, you should have seen the comment section. There was a lot of divestors in the chat causing chaos. Of course they were, because they can't come to terms with black men said, y'all could go over there with the white dudes, just stay over there. We already know the numbers. Them white dudes ain't marrying y'all at any appreciable number, in any significant number. What's the what, 0.5%, 0.5% of white men are married to black women? We already know what that is. Huh? So y'all go over there hoping to be walked down the aisle eventually, hoping to say I do to the white man eventually. And that's not how the way turned out, because of course it's not. It's called white supremacy, dumbass. Funniest thing in the world is black women thinking that white supremacy in that the white man, the tip of the white man's peen. Oh, he piped. That mean we're gonna get married one day. Anti-blackness no longer exists because a white man told me I'm beautiful. Huh? Weirdos got these white dudes playing in your hair on camera. Sage Steele, weirdo ass. Huh? So no, I think this conversation needed to be had. I don't think Hammer really appreciates the difference here. Um, whatever tribe he was speaking about and how people would look at him and his tribe, he wanted to equalize this. It ain't equal. It's not. It's a new day. It's a new day. You know it's a new day when you could see Kamala Harris annoyed at the fact that Barack Obama tried to lecture Negroes and Negroes are like, who you talking to? Huh? Because just 10 years ago, that would have been nothing. Oh, time flies, don't it? It's a new day. It's a new day because Kim Foster was never supposed to have to hear what an obsidian has to say. She was never supposed to have to entertain those ideas. Never. She was supposed to be like, oh, those are losers over there, and I don't got to worry about what they think or feel or say because their feeling is inconsequential. People like me, who white society put the thumb on the scales for, who people like Oprah Winfrey made a lane for, I'm supposed to be the next up. Women like me are supposed to be the next up, and those little Negroes like Obsidian are not supposed to have a microphone or a voice. Take their mics. Ain't that what they say about us? Oh no, it's a new day. All that incel talk. Like, share, subscribe, hit the super chat because Mr. Z trying to get his channel demonetized apparently. All that shaming of black men, all that calling black men misogynistic or sexist, huh? All that, I saw that Michelle Obama, the former First Lady Michelle Obama, I saw what she said on stage, huh? It's a new day. And they did not think it was going to switch up this fast. They heard the little, you think they didn't hear the little grumblings from us back in 2020? They heard it. They saw it being formed just a little bit back in 2016. They saw it. They didn't think it was going to really be anything. They saw it in 2020. Now when we in 2024, they're like, God damn, it hasn't even been 10 years. Huh? Uh-oh. And former President Barack Obama made such a mess of it. He was so overt and on the nose. Even some black women are like, God damn, ease up. Huh? Why is Mr. Z bringing this up in this conversation? It's a new day. It's a new day. And black women are going to have to appreciate it's a new day. You don't get to idealize white male patriarchy and then, quote unquote, settle for a black man you get a divorce in 5 years anyway. God damn, Z. Huh? You don't get to idealize white male patriarchy while railing against the non existent black male patriarchy. Uh oh. While saying, well, black men can't lead, so I guess I'll do it. Nope. Huh? And let me go ahead and address this now. And Leon says, and we're gonna go off track a little bit. Leon says, "What up, Z? I just got in. I just got in from trick or treating, and ran into my ex in my mom's neighborhood. These loudmouths on social media still live with their parents, bro. I addressed this before. I I addressed this a while ago, and maybe we have to do a whole separate stream about it. You know, we're black, so we get it, right? Life is not necessarily kind to us. America is not necessarily kind to us, and you're gonna have a number of late 20s, maybe even early or mid 30 something year olds living at home with their parents. Maybe they would have moved out and moved back in, or oftentimes they would have never moved out. It happens. We get it. Oh, but there's a special place of laughter. Oh, you gotta know Mr. Z be get his 5 chuckles in. For the women in particular. Talking all type of crazy about black men in particular. Talking about what they're not settling for. Calling black men all type of dusties and nakers and whatever pejorative. Comparing black men to white men or any non-black men and deeming black men lacking. And yet you out here living in your parents' home, let's be honest, your mother's home. All in your late 20s, in your 30s, maybe even in your 40s. Huh? You at work and in your headphone, you listen to Chrissy or Crystalline Karazin or Cynthia G or whatever one of these TikTokers or YouTubers talking crazy about black men. It doesn't matter how they try to intellectualize it. Shout out to Kim Foster. Huh? No, you don't get to do that, ladies. And yes, we might be getting our 5 chuckles in at your expense. Yes, maybe. Yes, maybe. Are we black? Yes. Is there a real struggle? Yes. We know what this is. But if you out here liking divester and swirler post, anti-black male post, huh? If you in the comment section on TikTok, on YouTube, on Twitter, if you're in people's Twitter mentions, if you're on Instagram, if you on Facebook talking crazy about black men, Yeah, we might be getting our 5 chuckles in at your expense. When you living at home with your parents in your mid and late 30s, living at home with your mom, Golden Girls. I told y'all they living that Golden Girls life, huh? And Leon goes on to say she was acting like she didn't remember me. Z, her mother and father remembered me, and that's all that really mattered. Hysterical. On her mother gave my son a whole bag of candy. Man, and he says she kind of fat now. She had a pretty little seventh grader that was playing with my son. Wow, huh? She was acting like she didn't remember you, but of course, huh? It's real out here, y'all. The financial situation in America, particularly for black people, it's real out here. I just got done listening to Tavis Smiley and Breonna Joy Gray interview. And Tavis Smiley spoke about the growing number of homeless black folks, particularly black men. But you better believe it's hitting black women also. I can't tell y'all, but y'all know Mr. Z, for his career, I'm out here. I'm outside. Literally, I'm outside. I see the homeless black men, but I see the homeless black women too. It's real out here. And for all you quote unquote rich aunties, there's a growing. Isn't there an article of a growing number of kinless black women? Didn't we cover this a little while ago? Kinless black folks, namely kinless black women. So when you fall on hard times, now what? Huh? Yeah, you're gonna be out here, and you never got on a black man's program. Ooh, shame on you, huh? And Dre says to Leon, "You better check that candy twice." Right? And Bruce on Wayne says they should have never gave you Ashy Blokes YouTube. Right? I see. Who plays that? Who plays that clip? Is it Coach Greg Adams? I can't remember who be playing that clip. It's funny as hell. Should have never gave you Ashy Blokes YouTube, huh? And Dre says, and thank you for the super chat. Like, share, subscribe, hit the super chat. Dre says for the Hammer, quote unquote, love bot fund. Hysterical. Oh, it was BGS. Yeah, it was BGS. BGS plays it. Right. Should never gave you Ashy Blokes YouTube, huh? And Excalibur says BGS is BGS. And in reality, there is a number of women who feel black women in particular that was what the whole take their mics campaign was about. That's what this whole these podcast men and they're I'm telling y'all, even if Kamala loses, they may not be able to flex that power now. I'm saying this to y'all as a person who used to work for the Florida Democratic Party. I'm saying this to y'all as a leftist. I'm they're not going to forgive men, podcast men writ large, podcast black men in particular, particularly you conservative brothers. Oh boy. I'm telling y'all now, Kamala loses. Yeah, they can't really flex too much power. You don't know what any senators are going to start drafting in Congress members. I'm letting y'all know this now. But when the next Democrat come into power, oh boy. Huh? Why, Z? Because black men are talking. And black women were never supposed to talk. Y'all heard what the young lady said. She said, protect, provide, and shut up. That's what she said. Y'all saw the temper tantrum Kim Foster threw that she had to go back and forth with Obsidian. That was never supposed to happen. The Oprahs of the world, The Gale Kings of the world, right? They were supposed to make sure that the Kim Fosters were never supposed to have to go back and forth with an Obsidian. Obsidian is beneath her. She was never supposed to have to entertain anything that had to do with him. Huh? We're the little creepy crawlies. We're the little trolls. It's a new day. Liberalism and its discontents. I've spoken about this. God, Z, you got a growing list of things you've got to cover so that we can come back around. Huh? Francis Fukuyama tried to tell y'all. What's his name? The Indian cat, Pinkosh, whatever the hell, with Age of Anger, tried to tell y'all better take all those people y'all quote unquote see as losers, the people that didn't win in neoliberalism, and that goes for you conservatives and you progressive quote unquote winners. Y'all gonna have to contend with the people that are quote unquote losers in this game. They didn't just go away. And yeah, they got power and influence also. Goddamn, Z. By the way, this still is on topic. Huh? And yeah, I'm gonna check it out. I know. I know. And Dre says JD just did a just yeah, JD 2028, he just did an interview with Joe Rogan as well. Yeah, right? Huh, right? So black women who were able to benefit off of white feminism over the past few decades because they signed a Faustian bargain with white women and stabbed black men in the back, right? And even though they didn't end up with the white man, at least they had control of the black community and they had the microphone and they were able to shut black men up for the past couple decades. And y'all remember what Mr. Z says. If y'all ever hear anybody else saying this, no, they got it from Z. They got it from somebody that got it from somebody that got it from Z. The internet's democratized the town square, and black men had the ability to talk again. And goddamn, the worst thing that ever happened for these people in their minds, when really it's the best thing that ever happened to them. Huh? And so now we got an answer for you and your white husband. Goddamn, Z. Now we have an answer for you after divorce from that white husband, after the breakup from that white man. Huh? We got an answer, right? And y'all give Z 1 second. Let me do this. Give me a second, yo. There we go. All right. Yeah. Right. We got an answer. So yes, shout out to Dre. Yeah, I know that comment section for Roger Report. I know it had to be insane. Because black women don't know a world where black men are self-determining. And when black men say no, they mean no. Black women don't know a world where black men said, yeah, after you get that white peen, you can't come back. Huh? Why, Z? Because we said so. Because we know we live in America, and you stepped over. or stepped around all of the productive black men worth a damn and said, you know what? I'd rather go over there to the white man. And when you make that conscious choice, you don't ever get to come back. Huh? So we got to be very clear. Roger, to me, said exactly what needed to be said. And black women took for granted. We got to be honest. Let's get right to it. Black women took for granted that they should have the say, that they're the moral and just people on planet Earth, let alone in the black community. And if you're not on their program, then what are you doing? No, you got it backwards. If you're not on a black man's program, then what are you doing? Huh? All this her history and she history and her story and yawn. All this taking this hidden figures thing way too far. Huh? Y'all took it for granted that white racist society put the thumb on the scales for you. You took it for granted. You took it for granted so much you think you could cuck black men with white men's peen still on your breath. Huh? Think about, shout out to the brother that was saying unfair, right? Shout out to Vince for saying unfair. Yeah. Think about how disrespectful it is to think it's unfair for black men to quote unquote save you from what exactly, but to save you from a white man misbehavior after you chose the white man. What? Huh? And once again, Dre, thank you for the super chat. Thank you for the super chat. Like, share, subscribe, hit the super chat. Think about think about the disrespect. But I forgot y'all don't think that black men are deserving of respect because black men didn't make you upper middle class and rich white women. Huh? Think about, because y'all didn't see it. Many of y'all weren't around for that. To see Crystalline Kerosene old bum ass. Huh? And Vince, what you said was genius. To think that you bought the white guy. I'm mentioning the Veganator, y'all, you guys. You bought the white guy on your stream to insult black men, to show black men what a quote unquote real man is, and that white men are checking for black women. You bought the white man on to insult black men. He turned around and gave you a piece of his mind and told you how easy it is to pull black women, to the point, if I'm not mistaken, if I remember correctly, that he's currently piping down a black woman who's engaged to a black man right now. He flamed black women. He let you know how easy it is for white men like him to pull black women. He hurt your feelings and all the feelings of the black women that were listening in on bated breath for this white man to insult black men for him. For you guys, I'm sorry, for you ladies. And so, after all of that was said and done, you thought you had to play damage control, understandably. And you recorded yourself crying snot bubbles, huh? Apologizing to your subscribers and followers that you had to torture them with this white man telling them the truth. about white man, black women relations. Goddamn. Huh? Why are you bringing this up, Z? Here's the kicker, everyone. For all of us that remember this story, what did Crystalline Karazin say, everyone? Do y'all remember? What did she say? Uh-oh, wait for it. Wait for it. Where were all the black men? Uh-oh. I have black men that watch. Where were all the black men to save us? Where were all the black men? She didn't say white men. She didn't say Asian men. She didn't even just say men. She said, where were all the black men? Wait a minute. You brought the white men in to disrespect us and to insult us. Where were all the black men to do what? Thank you, Spain man, to check him. Huh? Uh-oh. So, Vince, when you're dealing with a group of people that are that delusional, they think it's your job as a black man. You know what it is? It's a vampire can't enter your home unless you invite him in. Y'all inviting the vampire in the house and then being like, "Where are black men to save us?" When the vampire already got his fangs in your neck, his teeth already in your neck. You invited the vampire in, very importantly, to flex that you got this, you got this, right? You got this under control. You invite the vampire in. Vampire all on your neck, sucking the blood out. That's where's the black man help? Nope. And that's why the women were throwing a goddamn fit in the comments, Trey. Because they understood the precedent in the gauntlet that the Roger Report threw down. They understand the precedent that he set. Y'all recall the video with the young lady that said, "Is this the precedent y'all trying to set, black men? If we're not married to you, if we're not, well, however she said it, if we're not having sex with you, if we're not, thank you." Somebody sent it to me. I did download it. This is the one time Mr. Z actually downloaded it, so I do have it somewhere in my phone. Is that the precedent you're trying to set, black men? If we're not with you, if we're not doing this with you, if we're not doing that with you, then you're not. What did she say? You're not going to look out for us. You're not going to protect us. You're not going to. Yes, yes, you're right. Yes, that's exactly what we're saying. Yes, absolutely, yes. Because black women take advantage of that. Yes, that's what we're saying. Yes. If you're not doing right by us, we're not doing right by you. That's what we're saying. Actually, better yet, if you're not doing right by us, we'll leave you to your own devices. It's not if you're not doing right by us, we're not going to do right by you. No. If you said that it's better over there, if you decided to go over there to the white dudes and try to get a ring, whether you get the ring or not, to Z, it's inconsequential. The second you step out the black community, it's over. It's only worse when you're loud about it. Mr. Z is saying that. I don't know what other black men are saying. I don't know what other non-black men are saying. But Mr. Z is saying the second you step out, it's over. You out forever. Huh? Saint Cyr says the vampire is mauling them, and I'm keeping my garlic necklace to myself. Right? Oh boy. Eric says the black woman was always Zaddy's woman. Why are y'all surprised? Not surprised. It's just black women being supremely loud, and now they don't appreciate or like the response. Cat Williams said something about this. He said something about this a very long time ago on a stand-up. You should have never been talking ish. Uh-oh. You should have kept your anti-black male sentiments, excuse me, in the hair salon. Huh? Actually, you should have just kept it in that thing in the middle of your ears in your head. right? You should have just kept it there. But fine, you should have just kept it in the hair salon. Away from the kids, by the way. You should have just kept all your little anti-black men talk and rhetoric there. But you didn't. And so black men increasingly got to hear black women, and God forbid, the social media and the internet once again democratized the town square. So black women really got to tell everyone what they really thought. And black men were like, oh, okay. Well, see, what about black men? What about black men? Uh-oh. Who told y'all Z said he didn't believe in double standards? Once again, you don't get to talk like that because you're not paying, and nor do you want to. Uh-oh. Huh? That's the real about it, everyone. The Rush report to me bought out some he it was very important that he did this. He bought out what I think needed to be said. First, the women that were drawn to this like a moth, right? Secondly, the brothers that felt a certain way about the Raj report and other brothers emphasizing that this is primarily a ADOS FBA conversation because of the perspective, right? And you would think, being black from the diaspora and understanding how women across the board, women of color across the board, respond to white men and white male patriarchy. I'm not talking about what they're talking about on those college campuses. They're lying. We're anti-patriarchy and anti-systems of oppression. Stop lying. Huh? You would think that black men from across the diaspora who see how women of color respond, black women in specifically respond to white men, you would think they would get it and they would appreciate and understand what the Roger Report was saying. But these educated brothers seem to be struggling with this concept, right? What is so difficult to understand about we live in a currently, and for the past couple centuries, we live under a white hegemonic rule on planet Earth. In America in particular, we live in a white, almost damn ethno state. All that stuff that these liberals say, white capitalist patriarchal, that, yeah, okay, fine, okay, well, let's accept that on the surface, fine. So we live in that state, and the women are responding not to actually dismantle it, they're just doing a lot of talking. So if the women aren't working to dismantle it, as a matter of fact, they're really working to be the buffer class. Oops. That includes many, most black women. Then when the Raj report says, once again, wait for the title, wait for the title, members of the black community do not have white husbands. When the Raj report says that, the problem here is, huh? What's the problem here? This is cut and dry. If you fail at your attempts to secure a position in the white patriarchy, you don't get to come back. And whatever you deal with over there, with those white men or any non-black men, well, there should be no difficulty here. Should be no debate. No, I don't get it. I don't under. What are you trying to say? I don't get it, Roger. What is so difficult to understand about this? Dear black women, you step out, you out. Period. And you better hope and wish and pray, hoping and wishing and praying that if you and the white dude fail, then some lame ass brother will pick you up afterward. Now you gambling. Huh? Huh? Thank you, compassionate. Very simple. Very simple. The Raj report says, I thought it was a pretty easy concept. Raj, I got it from the title. I listened to the whole stream. I didn't need to listen to the whole stream. I got it from the title. Your monologue said everything. Right? And there was constant clarification from everyone. Everyone understood. Well, clearly not everyone understood it, Z. That's why you're having this stream right now. Right? And of course, the women are going to throw a temper tantrum because the women want to be able to go out there and be the sexual plaything for some non-black men. And when they finally get kicked off of Mount Olympus, right, do the walk of shame to the black community, and hopefully a black man worth a damn will pick them up. No. Sorry, the black community is not a dump. I know y'all like to say Blackistan and right, the community. I get it. All these pejorative. Y'all notice Mr. Z don't be saying that. I say it as a way to mock the people that say it. I mean even the brothers in the black community. Oop, I said black community. The black manosphere. Mr. Z don't say Blackistan or community. I reference it to mock the people that do say it like that. Even some of y'all that's listening right now. Goddamn Z. Huh? Because we can't refer to the black community with this pejorative and then try to regulate other people saying it, including the women. Right? So yeah, I understood what the Roger report was saying. And Raj says, I saw a link you sent. It was a dead link. Okay, give me a second, Raj. Give me a second. Y'all give me a second. Like, share, subscribe, hit the super chat. Let me resend this. Okay, we're back. Hopefully that works, Raj. I don't know. Let's see. And if that doesn't work, I'll just try this one again. Okay, if that doesn't work. Hopefully. I don't know. We had the same problem last time. I don't know what's going on. Give me a second, yo. If that doesn't work, hopefully this one does. If not, I think they're playing with me today. So it should be the first or second link. Well, the second or third link that I sent, actually. Right. So continuing, um, I'm covering this number one as a non-ADOS FBA person because I really want to speak to the difficulty, I would say, that you could clearly see that Hammer was having, right? Coming to terms with, this is a new day, these are the rules, right? This is a new day, these are the rules. And if you are a black woman with a non-black spouse, then you ain't part of the black community, period, right? Once again, members of the black community do not have white husbands. You are part of whatever community he's part of. Whatever your non-black spouse got going on, that's where you at. So enjoy the potato salad with the raisins in them, right? Enjoy the potato salad with the raisins in it. Enjoy the poppy ass music at the family gathering, huh? Enjoy the unseasoned turkey during Thanksgiving. Enjoy the subtle racist jokes. Uh-oh. Huh? Enjoy. So we'll pause right here. What's going on, Raj? Raj is up.
Man,
Like,
what's
share,
happening,
subscribe,
bro?
hit the super chat. What's going on with you, Raj?
Man, I'm just salty, man. I'm just salty. It took me a while before I realized you sent that link, man. I'm salty. I would have been here. I would have been here. And I could have actually had some time tonight to be here, too. So I'm
Right.
salty.
No, I messed up because I didn't know. So I saw the link, I saw the thumbnail, and I was like, "Oh man, this is gonna be good. I'm gonna get around to it. I'm gonna get around to it." And I had to run errands, Raj. I was running around. Man, I had to run errands today. So yeah, I just wasn't, and I couldn't jump on and reckless streaming. So yeah.
It's all good. But when you sent that link, I just wish I would have saw when you first sent it.
Mhm.
Because this was an interesting topic that I did earlier. I appreciate you giving me a little bit of shine. I do appreciate it, my brother. Much respect to you.
No, I
My
had to. No, it was good. It was good. I
Yeah.
listened to the whole thing at 2 times speed too.
Yeah, and like you said, I thought it was a fairly simple concept. I really did. You know what I'm saying? I knew people would be, it would spark some interest, but I didn't think people would just go off the deep end to a certain degree.
Hmm.
It sounds pretty easy. And honestly, people from a more structured background, because foundational Black Americans, our background is not as structured as other people. Other people have had certain structures for thousands of years in some cases. It would seem like they would be able to understand this stuff far better than FBA people. It would seem that way because y'all come from such structured societies. You know, it blows my mind if you can't accept something that you probably already understood for your own society and other societies that
You
you
know
come into
what the
contact
problem
with.
is, Raj? They don't appreciate white supremacy. It's not, you're thinking about the structure. You ain't thinking about the white part. That's the thing. And I think Compassionate was trying to get to it when he was on your channel today. They don't appreciate why you would say what you're saying because they don't appreciate why this is the thing. They don't consider that black women are, it's not about love when they go over to the white dude. It's a very conscious thought about hierarchy. And so what you're saying is, oh, we gotta dead that. You don't get to step back over here and quote unquote settle for a brother over here because you and the white dude ain't work. Because they're not really thinking about white colonialism, white patriarchy, white capitalism, white they're so for brothers that are even coming from a different background, quote unquote more structured, they get the structure part and the family part. they don't appreciate the white hierarchy part that's in the minds of women of color, namely black women, ADOS, FBA women. That's the part that they not putting into the equation. The social math. So
That's a tough piece of that's a
yeah.
tough piece of information. Cause I ain't gonna lie, I thought it was ego. That's what my mind first went to. Do you have
I
such
think
an
it
ego?
devolves to ego afterward. I think it devolves to ego afterward because I heard it. I could see the ego part. I think it devolves to that afterward. But initially, I think it's just you don't get it, do you? Like the whole time I'm listening to Hammer, and even the African brother that was asking BGS some questions, I was like, you wait a minute, y'all don't really appreciate what we, and even the brother that called in earlier, and he was way more humble, and he was way more well, he was trying to be like, yeah, but what happens to the black family? I'm like, brother, you don't get it. You think sisters really mean this loyalty thing when they talking. You don't think that they're saying loyalty, but really is the white man ain't checking. The white man is not reciprocating those feelings. You really think it's some loyalty talk. Oh boy. Yeah.
I really wish I had more time to talk to that particular guy. You know, I hope
Yeah.
he listens to the rest of the stream. But I understand he may have had stuff to do, and I do get that. But yeah, I mean, he talked like what the women are choosing won't have some kind of effect. And my thing is, man, we got to choose accordingly. And at the end of the day, you know, I think some people just have a hard time not seeing things through the eyes of white supremacy, whether they support it or not. They see things through those eyes. My thing is, you got to take off them glasses, man. We ain't got time to be waiting on what they want. We got to do what we want, because that's the only way it's gonna work for us. Doing what we want to do, you know. So, and like I said, I appreciate you doing the stream. I just think it's a very, to me, extremely simple concept. You know, everybody, you know, women been trying to convince men for forever and a day. You know what I'm saying? Right here in the black community, that y'all are the leaders. Every time something go wrong, they keep trying to convince us that we the leaders. So I just think black men need to accept it. You're right, we are the leaders. So if I'm the leader, I make the rules. And if you ain't gonna pay and take care of me, you know, well, how you really gonna tell me how to run this thing?
I said that earlier. I said that, but I shouted you out for saying that earlier too. And also, I can't remember who said it. Was it you or was it Kev or someone else saying, "Yeah, that's all well and good, but what about when it's time to flex power?" And I'm paraphrasing what you said. When it's time to do, everybody's okay with the. And I'm trying to remember, what did Tavis Smiley say? He said correction, protection, something like that. But yeah, when it's time to correct, that's when people don't want to listen to the leader no more. That's when it's like, oh, wait a minute, we not talking about that part of the leadership. Well, no, we're putting in rules. Rules are meant to be exclusionary. God damn. So you said that out loud, right? Rule. Hey,
Absolutely.
everybody's not gonna fit. Look. Z is 5'9". I was never gonna play in the NBA, ever. Right? Like, rules are meant to be exclude. If you don't fall in this particular guideline, you're not here. You sorry. That's how this goes. When you apply to certain universities, if your GPA don't look a certain way, if your SAT scores don't look a certain way, if they do the personality assessment and they don't see something they like, guess what? You ain't getting in.
Absolutely. You know,
It's rules.
and my thing is, there's so many brothers who understand that other people can't be a part of their group. So why you got an issue when I say who can't be a part of mine? Okay. Yeah. I don't even get what a beef is. As long as I respect you and yours, you respect me and mine, we all good at the end of the day. We can work together, you know? So I think people gonna have to realize, you know, even with FBA black men, you're gonna have to come in a respectful way. You gotta learn to work with us if we want to do something. I don't mind somebody benefiting off me. I just want to benefit off them. If we both benefit, it's a great relationship at the end of the day. It's fantastic. Now, if you want to benefit off me and I don't benefit from you, then it's a complete waste of my time. And I don't understand how somebody can't see that point of view. I don't want to participate if I don't get nothing out of
They
it.
took it for granted, Raj. They took for granted that. I think we really have to. I don't want black America, because I think you can use that moral high ground talk. You can use that to your advantage. So I don't want to lose that, right? I don't want ADOS and FBA to lose that. With that said, people have weaponized that against FBA ADOS as a way of being like, well, you just do it because it's the right thing to do, right? You just back us because it's the right thing to do. You just support our cause because it's the right thing to do. And aren't you the more moral of everyone? So don't you just do things because it's the right thing to do and you want to be on the right side of history? And so it's been weaponized against ADOS FBA. I'm not saying that Hammer and other brothers are doing that consciously because I don't think that's where he's coming from. I actually don't think
Yeah,
he's
I don't think.
necessarily being malicious,
Yeah, I didn't
right?
think he had malice intent at all. I
Yeah.
really didn't
But
believe
I
that.
do think there is this idea that you do it because it's the right thing, and to hell, especially ADOS FBA, particularly ADOS FBA men, but they try to run this on women too sometimes. You do it because isn't that who y'all are? And you don't do it for any type of self-interest or any type of I scratch your back, you scratch my back, quid pro quo. I always struggle to get that out. But isn't wait that's not how y'all operate, and so it's been used as like a weapon, right? And weaponized against ADOS FBA. And I think even the people that might quote unquote mean well, they come from that angle and they don't appreciate. Wait, you're not really presenting anything here that's of benefit, right?
Well, I would say this: the sad part is because if you do think that way, that we're supposed to just do it because we're morally superior. Well,
Mhm.
as a morally superior person, that you placed me in that position. But I'm telling you, since we've already given you, now it's time for you to get us. So I ain't mad at you at all. But quid pro quo, somebody gonna quit and somebody gonna quote. So
Mhm.
it's our time now. You
Yeah.
know, and it only makes sense. I mean, for the people who do live in America, we're the dominant group as far as blacks are concerned. So you can choose to be on our side, or you can choose to be on the other people's side. I don't even understand why that's such a hard thing. And the thing is, that's the same thing we telling the women. I'm not telling the women anything different. They can choose to be on our side, or they can choose to be on somebody else's side. If they want to be on somebody else's side, I don't have any real use for them. And at the end of the day, if you're an unmarried sister, you up for grabs. It ain't up to me to protect you. You up for grabs. You out there
Wait
in them
a
streets.
minute, Raj. You either on this side or you're on that side. Well, Warren G and Mac 10 and them had something to say about that. And they said, I want it all. They said, I want it all, Raj. That's what they said. And that's what the women are saying. That's what the black women are saying. I want it all. Why can't I aspire to be with him? And then if it don't work with him, I could come and settle with you and
Man,
not call it settling for my own ego.
it's Halloween, right? I'm just gonna
Yeah.
use this as an example. It's a woman
Mhm.
somewhere right now getting eggs thrown at her. Why would I let her in my house if I don't know her?
Good point.
She ain't my brother's wife. She ain't my
Hmm.
friend's wife.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? She's nobody I associate with wife. And I see her running. I don't even see no ring, but I see some guys trying to egg her up. Why is that my issue? I don't see it as my issue.
That's hysterical and true. I mean, there is something to be said about people taking for granted that other people should be more mm, accommodating, caring, maybe kind. And by the way, so Mr. Z is not about being an a-hole or being one of these like hyper individualistic people that actually I mock those people that it's all about me and screw everything else and I don't have any type of larger moral compass. With that, when you attempt to weaponize that against me, now we having a different conversation. And so what I'm saying to you, Roger, for what you said, is I think people take for granted that you should open the door for the lady that's getting egg thrown at her just because, as a good Samaritan, as a good law-abiding, upstanding citizen,
Okay.
that you shouldn't have to. There shouldn't be a law against for. And by the way, that's one of the things that's happening in China right now. There is a law against something like that. I remember watching something like that. And so people like if someone fall out, another person to fall out, another person to fall out because you have to render aid, right, or something like that, if I remember correctly. And like it's against the law not to. Um, so I think that's where these people want to bring it, so that they can misbehave, and then it's your job to help them when something goes awry. That's what I'm getting at.
But well, I'm gonna be honest. I ain't gonna never tell you I'm a perfect person. If I seen a woman getting egged up by a bunch of dudes on Halloween, and I don't know who that chick is, not only am I gonna close my door, I'll probably come to the window while I'm laughing. And that's just being
That's
real.
messed up, Rush.
That's just being real. Okay, that's just keeping it 100. You know what I'm saying? That's probably what I'm gonna do because I'm probably gonna find it fun. Why? It's just some eggs. Well, is she really hurt? No. She gonna have to wash her clothes. It's Halloween. It ain't the outfit you putting on tomorrow anyway. It's just eggs at the end of the day. Now, technically, should people be throwing eggs at people? No. But you ain't mine. I don't know you. I don't know nobody who knows you. I can't. I ain't got no ass on my chest, man. That dude got superpowers.
This is my thing, Rush. Like so like for the way I think, if you ain't fighting against hyper individuality and you actually enjoy it, if you try to tear down structures and rules and norms, then wouldn't you appreciate that the natural evolution of the way you talk and think and what you advocate for is what Roger is saying? You don't get to have one foot in community and one foot out. You don't get to have one foot in playing Good Samaritan and one foot out. So like, yeah, what Roger's saying might sound harsh, but if you don't like to follow rules and norms, and if you want to do your whole negative liberty thing, then the logical conclusion to that is what Roger's saying. It may not sound nice, but that's the logical conclusion to you doing whatever you want to do, however you want to do it, and not playing a particular role, is that people may see you going through stuff and just look at you like, and close the door on you. That literally happened to the sister that married to a white man, two mixed sons. When that flooding happened in New York a few years ago, she, because of course black women, she left the house late. Car got flooded out. Car wouldn't keep on going. She out here struggling to take the boys out. She walking through the street, the water running, and take both of the boys and unalive them. She banging on a window, asking the white neighbors. She broke a window trying to ask the white neighbors to help her, and nobody helped her. And I know she had to be loud as hell. And nobody helped her. She lost the boys. Here's the kicker: white husband was out here. He was a garbage man, helping the city to block the roads and stuff like that. This is that's the world. Y'all didn't fight for no real society and community that help people. Y'all didn't fight for that. Uh-oh.
Well, I definitely believe in helping people. And because I believe in helping people, I do believe in charity. You have to give it where it makes sense. So if I'm going to give some charity, I'm going to give it where it makes the most sense to me. Okay. Yep. Matter of fact, just earlier today, a young man came into a restaurant. I was grabbing some food. Young man comes into the restaurant, but I see he only 14, 15 years old. Mm-hmm. He cuts right past me to ask to see if his food is ready at the counter. Now, that's a form of disrespect, but I get it. 9 times out of 10, you got a single mama. You ain't been taught no real discipline or anything like that. So I let the youngster get the food. And then I talked to him afterward. I say, look, young man, when you trying to cut in front of somebody, you supposed to have said something to me. You should have said, excuse me to me, brother. You saw me in the restaurant. I was in there clearly before you. You don't move like that. That's dangerous. He responded well. He was like, okay, you know what? My bad. That's on me. I'm sorry. And I told him, don't worry about it. Ain't a big deal. But keep in mind, the next time you do it, person may not show no mercy on you. And you can't be tripping because they didn't decide to show no mercy on you after you disrespected them. Now, me, I try to treat minors as minors. They're not adults. I'm not going to hold them same way to the same level of accountability as I hold an adult male to. But understand, if you 18 or over, that may not be my approach. It could be, but what if I'm in a bad mood? Or maybe I just feel like taking a different approach that time. Because once I see you as a man, I can take any approach I want. When you're a kid, I take a certain approach because I don't want to get into it with a kid per se. Not saying I won't, but I don't technically want to. But see, this is the thing. Now, if he bucked at me, then I would have disrespected him because now you just disrespected me, and you a child trying to be in a man's space. Oh, we gonna take this a whole different direction. Point blank, period. You know, who gonna help you? Nobody. You're a single mother. You know what I'm saying? So,
Raj, I gotta cut you off, Raj. I gotta cut you off. Kinsey and
go
Red
ahead.
got you, Raj. Kinsey and Red got you.
Kinsey and Red.
When the tables turned, Kinsey and Red got he was waiting. You know he was waiting.
I thought we was cool, brother. I thought we was cool.
God, you know. Now I'm already saying goddamn Kinsey and Red because I know how this gonna go. I know you can't even be comfortable on Kinsey and Red. You can't even be comfortable around him because I know how this gonna go. So I'm gonna get my 5 chuckles in now, Raj, because the next time I'm on your channel, you know, Kinsey and Red gonna get me.
Hey, that brother like savoir faire. He everywhere.
He everywhere. But you know, so while you were speaking, Raj, I'm really considering like this is the cost of where we are now, and I don't think people really appreciate. I was remember that's what I was thinking of. You know, earlier this year, maybe even late last year, we were covering the whole dearth in black sperm, and we were kind of making fun of it and joking about it. And I remember one of the themes that was going around in the black manosphere, but y'all told us that we was dusty. Y'all told us that we didn't matter. Y'all told us that y'all literally called us only sperm donors. I remember when they would say a lot of extra women used to say that to extra men. This is what y'all were saying. And now y'all saying, oh, there's not enough black sperm in the sperm bank for the women that are struggling to have kids and they need to. Wait, do y'all not understand how this works? You think you can insult a group of people, black men, and then all of the systems are still supposed to be working and operating at full capacity, at full efficiency? What? So you think you're just gonna insult people, demean them, belittle them, and then everything's supposed to be straight? I'll give you a prime example. Um, I was listening to some stuff and they were talking about China and the trade war between China and America, and they were like, y'all do realize that the whole sea lanes on the planet are controlled by America, and the only reason you don't got pirates all over the place is because of America. So what can China really do when it comes to um their sea lanes and protecting their goods as they travel? You see what I'm saying? Same thing. Wait a minute. Y'all are mocking black men, insulting black men, demeaning black men, but when Chad Wheeler pop up, what are we supposed to do? When Travis Kelsey it gives Kayla Nicole the coldest shoulder, he not even saying her name. What them brothers that's playing with him? What they supposed to say to him? Hey, brother, go, man, just we know you ain't gonna leave Taylor for her, but man, get her to shut up. Go say something to her. No, why should they? Especially after you didn't she make some snarky ass comment about what player was it that she made some snarky ass comment about? No,
I think they did exactly what they were supposed to do.
nothing.
Go out there and play football.
Thank you.
That's right. We know Travis from playing football. We're gonna keep playing football with him. And that's it. I think every brother on that team made the right move because I hadn't heard that any brother say anything to him. And why would you? You
That's
know?
what I'm saying. You don't get the buddy tax or the brother tax when you tell us we ain't brothers. We ain't sisters. We're not doing that. When you call the black community, or when you allow black folks, black women to say that, or blackistan, when you let that divester sister at brunch talk crazy, you don't get to call community afterward because your coward ass wouldn't say anything to her. Or maybe do something to her. Oops, I'm not advocating for violence on my channel. Anyway, right?
Well,
if you're just gonna let them go on, then you gotta deal with what that is. Oh well.
Well, the women told me we were the leaders. I know leaders protect their own.
Say that.
So if you don't belong to me as a leader, I can give you charity or I can choose not to. I don't have any moral issue when somebody's saying that I owe them charity because charity is not owed. the fact that we know it's charity means it's not owed. So I don't ever feel bad about things that people think I'm gonna feel bad about. And most people say something about kids as a something to feel bad about. I don't feel bad about your kids. They're yours. I don't
What
feel
about
bad
the
about
children?
I don't feel bad about these random kids out here. I'll holler at them when they're adults. What I'm gonna do with them? They children. Okay.
Man.
I ain't worried about it.
Let me read these two comments real quick, Raj, because Vince says, you can't disrespect me and then turn around and ask for help. That's what I'm saying. And Afro National says, brother and sister tax is crazy after they called you bullet bag. That's what I'm saying.
And you know
That's
what?
what I'm saying.
I'm going to say you absolutely can disrespect me and turn around and ask for help. Your issue is you dumb enough to think I'm going to give it to you. That's what your real issue is. You're stupid enough to believe some help coming from me after you've insulted me. I know how to walk away from people, and I know how to watch them suffer.
Okay. It's I was saying this earlier, Raj, before you came up. I was listening to Tavis Smiley because I was at work earlier, and I'm listening to Tavis Smiley speaking to Brianna Joy Gray, and he's mentioned how they would have never thought the face of homelessness was going to be black, and there's a growing face of homelessness. And while he was speaking, I just was thinking to myself of the ways we're getting here, and the data that we knew from forever ago that said by 2053 black people will have zero wealth collectively, and that was before COVID. That projection was before COVID, right? But no one ever talks about what that's supposed to look like as you approach that number. As you approach 2053, it's not like we're gonna wake up and black people are not gonna have anything. It's what does that look like as you close into 2053? And I would argue a growing number of black people being homeless is one of those things. A growing number of black people still living at home with their parents is one of those things. A growing number of black people not getting married because of what we say a husband is supposed to be and how he's supposed to perform financially is one of those things. With that, you don't get to, number one, not know these things. Number two, maybe know these things and give black men the middle finger anyway. Shout out, rest in peace, Kevin. The young ladies that would call in, even older women that would call in and essentially say, "Who wants to be with average anyway?" Well, all right. So you don't get to either not know this stuff, ignorance is bliss. No, it's not. Or know it and then weaponize it against black men and then suffer these type of consequences.
Well, my thing is stupidity is a choice. So when the average woman says who wants to be with average men, the only intelligent way to truly look at that is you. You want to be with an average man because you average. Now, if you're extraordinary, Beyonce, I understand looking for an extraordinary man. Jay-Z, it works out. Okay. But when you average looking for extraordinary, sometimes it's just due to you being slow.
Yeah. Yeah, I think they are. I think no, Raj, I don't know. Let me take that back. I don't think black women are slow, Raj. I don't think black women are slow. I don't think, but even the particular black women we're talking about, I don't think they're slow. I don't think they're dumb. I think it's a number of things. It's both things that they were indoctrinated with, and it's both things that they chose to believe. Like you say, you got to be held accountable for what you believe in. I think they just refuse to let go of the BS. They want, Raj. You've heard me, Raj, since you known me. You've heard me say this. They really, really, really want to be that. What you were saying when you dream, you could dream about rainbows and all this other stuff. They really, really want that white woman dream, Raj. They want, and not just white women, because we know most white women is extra average. They want that the rich and upper middle class white woman life, and they just can't. Black women, for the life of them, just can't let it go. They can't let it go, Raj. I would argue all women of color, to be honest with you. Even working class women, I'll throw them in there too. But black women in particular, because that's who we're talking about, they can't, Raj, for the life of them, they can't let it go. I think the tattoos on the neck is a response to that, not getting that. I think the highlighter weave is a response to that. I think the heavy weight is a response to that. I think all of it is, well, if I ain't gonna be her, then what's the point? I think the way they talk to us is that. I think the swooning over white men is that. I think the disparaging comments about the black community, about black men, the not this whole celibacy thing, the whole um vibrator and rose toy thing. I think all of that, the rich auntie BS, which they're not rich aunties, all of that is, if I can't be the white woman, I think even the divester swirler talk. You think black women really care about white men like that? They don't. It's what he represents. I finally get as close to being an upper middle class white woman as humanly possible. I think all of it is that.
I
To be
mean,
honest with you, I think all of that is that.
I think
They
all that.
broken. They broken. I'm sorry, Raj. Go ahead.
No, no, brother, I'm with you. I think all that can easily be included, but to me,
Mhm,
it just equals stupidity at the end of the day. If
mhm,
if you're going to go homeless because you want to hold on to that belief, my thing is this is America. More power to you.
mhm.
I'm not worried about no homeless woman. They lucky I'm not in charge because I wouldn't even waste taxpayers' dollars on stuff like that because I just see it as a
Raj,
waste of tax
I gotta
dollars.
pause you. That's not Kate C read this stuff. You gotta read this comment. I want you to be the one to read it because it's hysterical.
Wait a minute now, brother. Did that man just say? I'm assuming he meant lace front logic. You know,
Lace front logic. Put it in the book. This nigga said lace front logic. That is, hear ye from now on. That's why Fazio laugh. That's why I wanted you to be the one to read it.
hey,
From now
shout out
on.
to Fast Attack. So 688I. But that lace
This is why
front
we call the
logic.
Blake Manosphere the think tank. This is why we call it a think tank.
Uh,
This is why we call it a think tank. He said lace front logic. First of all, the alliteration is dope. Secondly, that's exactly what it is, right? Even though there's a lot of natural hair sisters out here running around with the stupidity too, but I'll just call it lace front logic. We going with it. That's where we going. It's genius.
Absolutely. I'm in full support of that. And you know what? If women don't want to play their role, okay, and my thing is this too. See, I ain't mad at nobody who want that white man, but why don't you go
Mhm.
get him? Stop halfway doing it and do it. Do what it takes to get him.
Hey,
And at the
Mob
end of
Deep
the
said ain't
day,
no halfway crooks. That's what they said.
yeah, bro, because I'm not gonna have no sympathy if it don't work out. I'm not
Exactly.
gonna empathize with you if it don't work out. So my thing is, they say if you swing at the king, you better not miss. So my
Yep.
thing is don't miss. That's it. You know, and
Agreed.
if it doesn't work out and you in a broken position, I'll just say that if you're in some kind of broken position, I think that's a position you're supposed to be in. I don't
Hey,
even see a problem with
you gonna be looking like the sister from a couple years ago that was crying because the white frat bro and her didn't work out
it.
in the car crying, looking like a fucking retard.
If somebody tell me they can't pay their rent or their mortgage, and I say why not, and your response is I didn't go to work, nigga, I don't care. Okay, you didn't go to work. Oh, you should be able to pay your rent or your mortgage. That makes sense
Say
to
that.
me. That makes all the sense in the world to me. So if women gonna go for a outside group of men and they not gonna do it well enough to actually get the job done, my thing is you were supposed to fail and I'm supposed to see a failure. I don't even see what a problem is. Okay, if you're gonna do it.
Uh,
You know,
I, I, I don't the nerve, the gumption, Raj, of being in America, knowing America's history, going out there trying to end up with the white dude. Fine, you try to end up with the white dude. Failing for at least because here go one of the. As a matter of fact, let me deviate a little bit because I gotta say this part too. Shout out to all the sisters that tell us, "Oh, I got me my white man, lady." You didn't tell us about them other 27 failed attempts, lady. You are 32 finally ending with the white dude. What happened to all the 32 failed attempts? The 15 failed attempts. Okay, fine. You got your white man. Okay, cool. Anyway, but yeah, no, you don't get to be in America, try with the white dude, fail, and then your fall black plan is black men. Nope, you don't get to do that. Nope, not on Z's watch. Not on my watch. Nope,
well,
nope.
Well, my thing is, as a black man, a black woman who wants a white man is pretty much useless to me. I can't really do anything with her because she's focused on the white man. So how can you focus on the assignment that I give you if you focus on the white man? So why put myself through the anger, aggravation, or the trouble? It's really no use. It's not even a disrespect thing. It's just we got to come to terms with real life. You know, I like the gumdrops and rainbows too when I'm asleep. I do like them. Okay. But when I'm woke, I got to deal with reality. If she's stuck on a white man, I can't really get her to do what I need her to do to help a black man because that's just not her goal. And I don't want to participate in something that ain't finna work. And I know it ain't gonna work from the beginning. It's one thing to try something that don't work, but to know it ain't gonna work from the beginning, why do I want to waste my time doing that?
For them, it's a man is a man is a man. They don't really actually mean it because they're quick to throw black men in your face when they feel like you're failing. Um, no, I do agree with you on this. What exactly would I be doing with you after the white dude? Or not even okay, fine, not even after the white dude. While you're pursuing, or while you're not, I'm not even gonna say pursue. If you open to the white dude, I said it. What the hell can I do with you? If you're one of those love is love people, then what the hell can I do with you? What can you do with a black woman that says love is love and you can't help who you love? What can I do with you in
Well,
America?
I'm gonna recognize they stupid because you actually can help who you love. It's very there's a lot of things you can
Thank
do
you.
about who you choose to love because I look at it as a choice.
It
Secondly,
is.
my thing is more power to you because real talk, once you hit 30 years old, you'll lose it anyway. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying this to be mean, but I just look at stuff from a realistic standpoint. What do you do with a woman who's already 30 years old and never been married? She's not used to being married. I think she's anti-marriage or she's been trying to gain a white man in some kind of way, which is why she
Uh-oh.
never presented herself well enough for a brother to pick her up. You got to present yourself as a woman as worthy of being a wife so the man would choose you. If a man won't choose you, you obviously were preoccupied doing something else. What is that something else? I'm gonna have to accept you was probably trying to be pleasing to a white man.
Say that.
So if you ain't figured all that out, and I'm just looking at you from 18 to 30 when you're an actual adult and you can make your own decisions. What if you fail for 12 years to present yourself to a black man as worthy enough to marry? I'm gonna have to accept the reality that every black man who came across you and gave you a chance came to the same conclusion that you were not worthy. So how could all of them be wrong?
They can't be. They can't be. It's just I think we have a group of people that just don't do the social math. They're not Raj, they're not thinking. Like you said, you could have that fairy tale and rainbows and marshmallows and everything while you sleep. Raj, they're perpetually sleep. They are perpetually sleep. We're not talking about people that they're. Who was I talking to? Who was I talking to? And we were like, they don't want to do the formula. They want to think that these things just happen. Like you could just go out in life and just freestyle things, and you don't have to have like a set plan of action. In something you said earlier, was it? Did you use the word instruction? I think you used the word. I want to say you said instruction.
Yeah,
You right?
you
Yeah,
like
and yeah. So like that to me, that's like the perfect word. Oh, no, you said assignment. You said assignment. You said assignment. Yeah, but either way, you you if if I can't give you an assignment, that's very important. If I can't give you an assignment, then what am I doing with you? If
yeah.
you can't follow a plan, and like there's so much data that shows you that you have to be structured. They said kids need 20 years of stability. That means fine, you can't stand my guts. You can't leave me for 20 years. You can't leave me for 20 years if you want these kids to be anything, right? And none of these things are necessarily guaranteed, but best practices, and I'm really going to start emphasizing that word. I've said it a couple times, but best practices, train tracks, best practices say that we shouldn't be getting divorced at least for 20 years. So every new kid we pop out, that's 20 years. That means pretty much you can't leave me until these kids are in college, and yeah, they go through it. But yeah, if you want to have stable children, for the most part, right? Best
Absolutely.
practices says that. right? Best practices
Absolutely.
says that Mr. Z probably shouldn't drink a few hours before work. That's what best practices say, right? That's what
Exactly.
best practices say. So that's what we're dealing with. People that really don't appreciate best practices. People that really don't appreciate that there is a a set of rules that you probably should follow for your own good, for the good of your children, for the good of your own mental health.
Yeah.
You
And
just want to
I think
freestyle and then wonder why things fail.
there's going
Yeah.
to be some women will take issue to the fact that we're not going to help you if you're attempting to manipulate something between the people you belong to versus the people you don't belong to. Because if you belong to them, we don't have it for you over here. It's that simple. That's how I look at it. Somebody asked me earlier about that. Somebody being married to a white. Well, I got to charge you now. If you was married to a black man, maybe I do it for free. But you married to a white man, I got to charge you
Yeah,
because
no,
it's
I
business
heard
now.
that. I heard when you said that.
You know,
Exactly.
there's solutions to
Exactly.
everything. There's always solutions out here. You just got to figure out what they are. So
They don't
at the end of
appreciate
the
it.
day, my thing is, you with a white man, I support you being with your white man because that's what you wanted, and you wasn't gonna be happy until you got it. And you know what? My thing is much love and respect to y'all. But understand, when I say much love and respect to y'all, I am saying y'all gonna be a part of whatever group you are because you're not a part of ours. That don't mean I got to hate on you, but I definitely recognize we ain't on the same team no more. We might have been on the same team all the way until you walk down that aisle. But once you said I do, I don't.
That's the line right there. Once you say I do with the non-black dude, then I don't.
Yeah, you his
That's the
problem now.
line.
You his problem now. It just is what it is.
Yeah.
You know?
You don't get to play both, especially not in America. You don't get to play both, right? And especially this is the thing. If we lived in a different world where quote unquote race didn't matter, then we wouldn't even be having this conversation, right? It wouldn't be this. And if black women didn't make it so abundantly clear that they're picking the white man in spite of the black man, and I mean spite in both ways, right? Then we would be having a different conversation. But that's not what black women have informed us, especially over the past decade and some on social media. But you don't even have to look at social media in real life throughout American history. Definitely since the repeal of the miscegenation laws. They're telling you something. I'm just saying.
I think that's a very good point. And if we were all one people here, yeah, these conversations wouldn't have to happen. But because we're not all one people, I got to look at what group you belong to because I got to know what I'm supposed to be doing in a certain situation. I got to understand and recognize who I can call on. Now, let's think about this, y'all. What if I was in trouble to a certain point? And I know it might be hard to imagine, y'all, because it's hard for me to imagine too. But what if I needed to call a woman for help? What if I actually needed a woman to help? Should I call the woman who's married to a white guy? If I don't have no
Say
men
that.
to call and I need some actual help, am I supposed to call a black woman who's married to a white man? How that's gonna go? How's she gonna help me? She got to make sure she don't do nothing that's gonna tick off that white man. And the last thing I need to be in a desperate situation where I got to look for a woman to help me, and the woman
And
I
then a
got to help
woman
me
that's
is
married to a
married to a
black
white
man
man.
on top of
You
that.
know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, I'm,
Hey, I
I'm
know
in
you
a
talk.
bad
Why you talking about
situation.
Ketanji like that, Raj? Why you talking about Ketanji like that? I'm just saying. Why you talking about Kamala like that? Why you talking about Kamala like that? I'm just saying.
Hey man, more power to them, but they ain't none of ours. That's my thing. They ain't none of ours. Just because they got
Oh man.
some societal position that people
Talking about Susan
recognize.
Rice like that. Susan Rice like
Yeah,
that. Why you
I
talking about Susan
mean,
Rice like that?
man, screw them at the end of the day. They made their choices. They ain't with us no more.
Hey,
I'm not
you know,
tripping that they not with us. I'm just recognizing that they not.
they not with us because what did Susan Rice tell Snoop? What did Susan Rice tell Snoop when Snoop was on Gayle King's Head Tough? Because Gayle King thought it was a perfectly good time to use Leslie Jones, Lisa Leslie against Kobe. What did so? So Susan Rice pretty much told Snoop, I'll pretty much send the whole army at you.
Yeah, she said,
Threatened
I heard.
Snoop.
I'm gonna say this. She said, I
Hmm.
hurt niggas. That's what I do.
That's what I heard.
You know what I'm saying?
That's
I
what I
hurt
heard.
niggas. Okay.
Yep.
I'm certified to hurt niggas. I got
Yep.
credentials to hurt niggas. Nigga, don't
Yep.
you know I'm married to a white man?
Say that.
I will hurt you. That's what I heard.
Yep.
Okay. You know?
And not even because you said anything to me, because you said something to another woman that don't mess with black men like that really either. Oops.
Yeah. Well, you know,
Just
they
saying.
all on the same team at the end of the day. Cause she said, who did she say that to?
Snoop.
No. I'm sorry. Why did she say that?
Susan Rice. She was
Yeah,
getting at Snoop because Snoop got on Gayle King, remember?
right. So
Hmm.
Gail is basically like a mascot for them.
Say
Now
that.
Gail can't join the team because whatever's going on with Gail, won't no white man take hers. At least not yet. So she a mascot. She got to
Bruh,
show
she
her
damn near
worth.
70. Well, she's 70. It's over, Raj. Ain't no white man taking nothing.
I'm
It's
not
over.
saying it's gonna happen, bro. I ain't saying it's gonna happen. Because if it was gonna happen, it probably happened 40 years ago. You know what I'm saying? And that's real
Thank you.
talk. Uh, but so she a mascot. She's trying to stay good with them people.
Hmm.
And my thing is that's for
Well,
Gail to figure out at the end of the day. I ain't mad at her. I ain't mad at her. But Gail's just another sister who could have had a black man if she would have presented
she
herself
did.
good enough. If
She
she
did.
would
Gail
have
got a
presented
couple of
herself
kids.
good enough.
No, she did. She had a couple of kids and got divorced from the man because apparently she walked in and on him cheating, whatever the hell ever. And yeah, and so she's been F black men ever since.
Well, I did say she had to present herself as good enough.
Look, yeah, that's all it is. So you left your black husband because he apparently exercised his options. I said it the way I meant it, and he exercised it. So you left him, and you've been out here ever since for decades. Yeah,
I mean, it is what it is. Well, I mean,
just
she
saying.
living better than most sisters because she gets showbiz money. You know what I'm saying? So it's
What
different
that
when you in
mean,
showbiz.
Raj? Raj, what does that? That don't mean anything. You had to pretend like you and Cory Booker used to date. Get out of here, lady. Get out of here.
Wow, she had to pretend her and Cory Booker
Yeah, but
was
remember when
dating.
he was running for? Was he running for president? It was something, and people,
It
everybody been
might have
looking at
been
Cory
president.
Booker
Yeah, it
sideways
might have
forever.
been president. Yeah, it
Yeah,
definitely might have been
everybody been looking
president.
at him sideways forever about his sexuality. So she was out there, me and Corey, we did a little. Shut up,
Okay, yeah. Open your friend, and that's all you. Hey,
man.
that's y'all business at the end of that. That's y'all
Hey,
business.
bro. Hey,
You know?
bro. I'm just saying, whatever y'all got going on over there, munching life. Anyway, whatever y'all got going on over there, it's none of my business, right? But either way, but yeah, Gail to me is a great example of what we talk about. A lot of these women are great examples of what we talk about. They're out here, they're doing their thing with whoever they're doing with, white and black men, and whoever the hell will take them. But as you said, if your husband is not black, then you ain't part of the black community. You're not. If your husband's not black, then you ain't part of the black community. It's that simple. And to hell with your feelings about it. It's that
I
simple to
think
me.
you should feel some type of way. If you was dumb enough to marry somebody who wasn't black, you should feel some type of way. You know, because we are people that you want to get included with. We the fun people. We have the best dancers. We got the best sports stars. We got the best singers. We have the most creative people. You know, who wouldn't want to hang out with us? So I get feeling some type
Say
of
that.
way. You should feel some type of way. But at the end of the day, you chose what you chose, and that's it. You know, it's just it is what's going to be at that point.
But
So
I
you should
want to
have been.
benefit from all of it, Raj. I want to benefit from all of it. I want to bring my white husband to the black family gathering.
Ain't nobody eating your potato salad. It just is what it is, man. Just is what it is. Ain't nobody gonna eat your potato
Oh,
salad.
oh man.
You know, set it on the small table. Okay. Ain't no point in setting it on the main table.
Oreo macaroni and cheese, by the way. Oreo macaroni and cheese. If your macaroni and cheese ain't thick and that shit is hard to pause, hard to swallow, then I don't want it.
I mean,
I don't want it, sex. I don't want it.
real talk. I don't think, unless you a chef, I just don't think it's
Yo,
wise for a white person to bring macaroni and cheese to black people. I don't even
how,
think that's a wise
hey,
decision.
look, man. How MTR say it? If your macaroni and cheese don't sound like the biscuits innard when I fucking mix that shit, then I don't want it. That shit better be thick as hell. The hell?
Yeah, I mean, that's just, since you bring it up,
More
that's just
cheese than
something
noodles.
I would just never recommend a white person who's not a chef to take macaroni and cheese to black people. It don't even sound right. That's just not what you take. You know, there's all kinds of stuff to bring. There's napkins, tablecloths, all kinds of stuff you can bring.
Dry ass turkey.
You know,
Fuck out
plasticware.
of here.
You can bring some ice. You know, we heard your ice was cold anyway. Bring some ice.
bring the ice for real.
I'm saying, bro. Look,
You could bring the chips, the closed chips. That shit better be closed. You bring the chips and the ice and shit like that. Bring the Czech soda if we in the hood. Bring the Czech soda. That's what you can do.
And I ain't trying to sound offensive to anybody listening, but I'm just keeping it real. If you white, why would you take macaroni and cheese to black people? That don't make a lick of sense. That's like me trying to marry a black woman who's 30 and above, who's been trying to marry a white woman. A white man her whole life.
No, you said it the right way. Keep that. Yep. Either one goes. Either one to go. Either one to go.
Yeah, I heard the black women started to swing all over the place nowadays. I did hear that.
The Bush sisters are really swinging for the fences with that one.
Yeah.
Shout out to Wanda Sykes. Oops. Anyway, go ahead.
It must be getting really desperate.
And Aisha Taylor. Oops. Anyway.
Yeah, I thought they was desperate at first, but some numbers I heard recently say they really desperate. They jumping up the fence for real, or at least sitting on top of it. You know.
I don't know. Rich aunties and rose toys. I'm just saying.
Yeah. And my thing is, rich auntie, it ain't about money. It's just shit, because you can be a broke rich auntie. So
that's what they are, though, Raj. I say it low key in a mocking tone. I do get my 5 chuckles in at black women's expense every once in a while. I don't do it often. I really don't like antagonizing them, believe it or not, even though I'll be giggling and laughing. But no, they're not rich aunties because most people aren't rich, including single black people, including single black women. Now, rich aunties crap. Lady, you're not rich auntie because you make 50 grand a year and you don't have any children. Stop it. Right? You're the eyed auntie. You're the auntie that could buy baby clothes and stuff like that, and it won't break you. But you're not the rich auntie. Stop it. With your $57,000 a year. Stop it. It's even that.
Yeah, I never considered myself a rich uncle. First time I hit 50,000, I sure didn't feel rich. I tell you
that. Me neither. I don't have any kids. Both of my sisters got kids. I'm not no rich uncle. And I make more than that.
Yeah. So,
and they definitely do be hitting me up. My well, not my older sister, but my younger sister do be hitting me up for little dollars here and there. And she married. Then there you go.
Well, my thing is, black women just need to get on board. I mean, get you a black husband, stay in the community, or just go and get your white one and accept that you ain't in it. I don't even understand why. See, this is the crazy part about women for me. Why would you want to be in the black community if you have a white husband? Why?
You want the benefits and you want to show him off. What was the point? I mean, if we're gonna call it a thing, Raj, what was the point of the white husband if you can't bring him to the family function and look at your girl cousins like, yeah, that's me?
Well, I mean, my thing is this: you do have the other side of the family, so you're gonna go around some black people, at some point for the family.
Raj is yawning on the phone. Raj just told me this whole conversation is boring as hell, and he want to get off. Goddamn, Raj!
Not at all.
Goddamn! No, man, go ahead.
Y'all don't understand how little I sleep. Y'all don't get it.
Raj, do you really want to play top trumps of work, Raj, with me?
I'm not even saying work. I'm telling y'all, I don't get a whole lot of sleep. A lot of people
ask me when do you
sleep. You know what I'm saying? Never. Real talk. A lot of folks asking me when do I sleep. It is hard for me to tell you. Okay.
By the way, I just short, just for everybody in the chat. This is me and Raj all the time. Just FYI, that when I talk to Raj offline, this is me and Raj all the time. I do really play annoying younger brother role on Raj all the time. This is the normal conversation. Just letting y'all know. Go ahead, Raj. Go ahead.
I ain't gonna even say you an annoying younger brother. You know what I'm saying? You ain't my favorite younger brother. I'm just, I'm just, I'm just playing. I'm just playing. But I do got brothers that are higher level than you. But well, I think women just need to embrace who they are and who they comport themselves to be. They say stuff like, "I don't want to be a part of Blackistan." They say stuff like that, and my thing is, there is a way out, and I want you to know what the way out is. Okay, all you got
Shout
to
out to
do
Edward Anderson. Date
is,
out.
yeah, there's a way out of this thing. We not trying to hold you in here.
Say
Okay,
that.
find you a good little white man. I mean, just find a white man, because let's keep it real. Black women ain't got no standards. So find a white man who's willing to take you. And at the end of the day, it's a lot of white men out there. There's millions of white men out. Thank God for the feminist movement. You got a bunch of white men that ain't married right now. Go get them. That's all you got to do. They out there and they available. Go get them.
Bro.
You know?
If they're willing to have you, there you go.
Yeah. And they'll make deals with you. A lot of them ain't gonna even charge you all that much. You can take your $50,000 a year job, you know what I'm saying, and support their lifestyle, and they'll accept it. I've seen white men accept that off black women.
Do him how you did some of the brothers. Just buy him a PS5. Just buy the white dude a PS5,
Yeah, right. Get a
and
decent house.
he'll go. He'll go.
Yeah, get a decent house. A lot of them don't have to. There's a lot of them who got trailer parks and whatnot in their background. They're not looking for the most expensive stuff. Get you a decent house. Get you a halfway decent car. It ain't got to be a decent car, just a halfway decent car, and be able to provide for him. And he will rock with you. Real talk. Real talk. And I know some of y'all might be saying, what you mean her get a car for him? No, that's the way it works with a lot of black women and white men. I told y'all they ain't got no standards. They buy their white men. And I'm not mad at them for buying their white men. They do have a right to do it. And you know what? If it's gonna make them happy to pay for a white man, let them be happy.
Say
This
that.
is what it is. Okay.
Hey, that's what it's looking like, and that's all we're saying. Raj, I definitely want to have you up. I regret not getting on that panel, man. Like I said, I saw the thumbnail and I just was running errands. I'm like, I'll get to it, and then I didn't. I had to sleep so I could be ready for work.
I don't even know if there was room on that one. They came
Yeah,
on.
yeah, it was crazy. It was crazy. I listened to the whole thing. That was a
After
good.
Black Guru showed up, they got thick on that.
Yep. Shout out to Black Guru, shout out to BGS. I saw BGS jump on there. And and I just want to stress that, especially concerning the brother Hammer, there's just so much context that you miss. Art New Style speaks about this often, about the internet and social media and all this other stuff that has given us access to all the information, but you're still missing the context. And so when I listen to Hammer speak, and from my understanding, I think that brother's going to Howard right now. He's a student at Howard, if I'm not mistaken. So you're just missing the context, and a lot of that you can't get from a book, and you can't get that from the internet. You're gonna have to go talk to ADOS black people, or at least people that was around, black people that were around at the time. But you have to talk to black people that's in the mix, and guess what? You're gonna have to be in the mix also. You just can't. The data and the numbers, and even the data that you see people like me and people like Raj and Sarge Willie Pete and BGS that we recount. If you don't get the context of it, then that we just shooting numbers at you. You don't get it. You don't understand the significance, and you don't understand how that plays out on the ground, right? So yeah, that's what I would say. That's what I would say to the brother. Yeah. He just missed the mark. Yeah.
All I'm gonna say, brother, just take it like your schoolwork, because I know he's supposed to be a very smart young man.
Mhm.
At the end of the day, this stuff ain't that complicated. Not for somebody who's doing some of the stuff that he's doing. You know what I'm saying? So, bro, this should be a cakewalk for you. If you hear me, this should be a cakewalk for you. Man, just accept the information, because I don't think that he can't understand the information. I just think he don't want to accept it for
I
whatever
agree.
reason. and it's easier. Let's keep it real, y'all. It's easier to be in a victim state of mind than it is to be in a victor state of mind. Because a victim must do something. A victim doesn't have to.
Yeah. Well, when you're a victim, when you're when you adopt a victim mentality, because I do think you could be a victim. When you adopt a victim mentality, you let life happen to you, right? I'm not
Absolutely.
saying that you fought and lost, because that's not letting life happen to you. But when you have a when you adopt the victimhood narrative, you let life happen to you, right?
Yeah.
Now I'm iffy about saying that stuff sometimes because I think we get into some very tricky places because certain people they
I
discount
was
people's act.
certain
Go
people
good.
just slow. Certain people just slow.
Yeah.
Winners
You know where
lose
I was
too
gonna go with it.
sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Exactly. You know where I was going with it. Yeah.
the 96 Bulls won 72 games and a championship. They still lost 10 games.
You
It
see,
just is what it is. Okay.
that
You know,
that's what it is.
you can take a loss and not be a victim, or you can even be
Yeah.
a quote unquote victim because it's the term actually fits your situation, but that
Hmm.
doesn't mean you have to stop. You can keep going even though
Yes.
you were a victim.
Yeah. And that's all I'll say to Hammer. I think you just, brother, you really have to get. Oh, and very importantly, do not adopt the narrative that wayward, broken, bitter ass black women, and even some of the young black women that are around you, that don't mean they still ain't bitter and broken just because she 22 and 21 and 23. Um, you can't adopt the narrative that they're spewing. These are people
I'm
that have already been. Go ahead.
Now let me just say, because if Hammer happens
Mhm.
to listen to this, brother, be real with yourself for once. Just be real with yourself. Why isn't there a team of women trying to marry you now? If you are a young man
Mm.
who's in college, so you can outdo some stuff, because that's why people go to college, to get better advantages than people who did not, so they can potentially make at least $1 million more over a lifetime. So if you're in college doing certain things that you're doing, I don't know what they made available to the public, but you're supposed to be a pretty bright young man. At the end of the day, women should be trying to be set up. Well, people should be trying to set women up with you right now, especially if you're not out here in the streets and you actually focused on the books and you taking it that serious.
Mhm.
So at the end of the day, bro, it's just like, man, what is it about you that they're not trying to put women in your face right now to marry? If something ain't wrong, where are all your potential wives at? You know, you
Mm.
want a man that has potential, right? You want a man who's showing his potential, right? You want a person who has the ability to gain a good career and make a lot of money over time. He actually fits those bills. So it just is
Mhm.
what it is.
Yes.
And he's let it be known he ain't out there in the streets. So he's a quote unquote good young man. You know what I'm saying? So somebody
Problem
should be
number
trying to get.
one.
I'm just saying, somebody should be trying to push their daughter in his face, unless you're dealing
Mhm.
with a bunch of broken people.
Say that. Say that.
Yeah.
That's what it is. And let me say to everyone, I know AB was trying to pull up a Leon. I'm gonna do a stream. Y'all know, y'all like, I'm even right now. I'm gonna wrap up in a minute. I'm gonna do a panel discussion. Hopefully, well, well, I'm not. So Saturday, so tomorrow, because we're at least on the East Coast. We're officially Friday. We're officially Friday now. So yeah. So yeah, I'm gonna try to do a panel Saturday. So y'all already know how that go. Yeah, because I'm even trying to wrap up in a minute because Mr. Z has work in the morning and like I don't know. I gotta be up in like I don't know 4 hours or something, 4.5
I'm
hours.
trying to
Well,
let you
about
wrap
four and a
up. I'm trying to let you wrap up.
right. So that's but yeah, no, so that's what I'll say, and I think that was a great topic, Raj. Somebody got to put the gauntlet down. Somebody got to throw the gauntlet down. Somebody got to put a line in the sand, right? That's
Hey
what, to
man,
me, that's what it is.
oh, that's exactly what it is. Cause I care nothing about how people think about it. I really don't. So that's definitely what it was. And if you a black man that considers yourself a real man, you should be able to get behind that with no problem.
Yeah. And that's all it is. And let me read this real quick. And red pill sleeper cells. Shout out to Louis. Louis says, "I'm a free agent. I'm loyal to myself and those who are loyal to me." Hey, that's the society we live in. That's the
Amen.
society we live in. I'm just saying.
Amen.
So, hey, if they wanted something different, they would have designed a different system. I'm saying. I don't know. I don't know what to tell y'all. It ain't. I'm not an advocate of what we're currently living. I'm just saying, if these are the rules, then these are the rules, and it's ugly. I'm gonna just say it. Like I don't like this, but I mean, if you want a different world, you would have had a different world.
There you go.
I'm really saying that to our elders, not even to us, because we were born into this, but all the other folks that cheered on Reagan killing the unions with the air traffic controllers, right? All of those folks, hey, even some of you white folks, I know there might be one or two of you listening. Hey, if your 35-year-old daughter or son still living at home with you, well, Raj, you got anything to say about that? I'm just saying.
Hey
Hey,
man,
what you thought?
just make sure he got a lot of fish and chips available. If he's still living with you, that's the way I look at it. Because if you
Hey.
white and you in America and you can't buy your kids a house, you probably messing this thing up. You ain't doing that white thing right. I'm just saying.
Hey, I'm saying for real. So hey, if that's all, that to me is a great wrap up. But that's all I'll say to that. This is these are the new rules as dictated by the Black Manosphere that's gonna spread to other black men. So y'all hold on to y'all hats. Y'all hold on to y'all hats because this is the new normal. It's gonna be a new normal, and we are mm, we're building and designing. I really want to say architecting, but that's not a real word. But we are building and designing a new
Construct.
normal and constructing a new normal. Thank you. Um, Here in the Black Manosphere, then it spreads out of the Black Manosphere. This is why they Kamala them is scared, and then it spreads outside of the Black Manosphere, and then it just become normal. And there you go.
Welcome to your new norm, people. Welcome to your new norm.
Right, and Dre, and we'll end out with this because Dre got the final comment, but Canadian got the final comment, but and Dre says you ain't white and right. It's crazy work. Say that, Dre, but that's what it is. If you're a white person struggling in America, literally borderline goddamn white ethno state, you ain't white and right. I'm just saying.
That's
Shout out
now
to
my
all you.
lexicon.
Hey, I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. Goddamn. And on that note, y'all, thank you, Raj, for coming up. Thank you so much. Great panel discussion. I know it got heated. People trying to talk over each other. So as usual, you always keep the panel on point. You did your thing. Thank you for coming up. And on that note, everyone, we will pause right here. Love, peace, and chicken grease. Y'all go check out other Black Manosphere content, other non-Manosphere content, and Mr. Z out. All right, y'all.